triathlete studs. This is Coach Brett, and today I promised I would talk about how to get faster in the pool and then have a great Ironman swim. I did the Iron Baby last week and did the swim in under an hour, and I've been doing the swim under an hour for years and it's a method that I've perfected that works very, very well. And tonight I want to tell you about it, and there's 6 steps to make it happen. But before I go there, I want to mention that there's a million ways to get faster in the pool, and you know, my way is just one way, but I know it works. It works really well. So other people have great ways, and you should listen to everybody's advice and then pick the advice that works best for you in your situation. So, okay, what I do and what I coach athletes to do, my own clients that have wonderful success with this, is we swim 3 times a week. If you swim 2 times a week, you don't get much improvement. You barely maintain your current fitness. 3 times a week, you're starting to improve a little bit. 4 times a week, you improve a lot. Now, for half Ironman and Ironman swims, you want to be in the pool for an hour. People that don't swim for an hour are pretty much shortchanging themselves and cheating themselves with the amount of time it took to get to the pool in the first place. So once you get there, you want to stay there for about an hour. Okay, so in that hour, I like to have people swim either 4,000 yards if they can get it in the hour, which is a lot, and that's pretty rare, or swim continuously for the entire hour. One or the other, whichever one comes first. Swimming over an hour probably isn't all that necessary. So that's 1 hour, 3 times a week. Okay? Now, let's talk about the workout itself. Basically, what you do is you swim your race pace for the entire hour. And how do you find out your race pace? I mean, an hour is a long time. How do you know how fast to swim? Well, what you do is you swim 100 yards, and you swim it at a pretty casual pace. Because 100 yards one off is feels easy, but you do it for an hour, you're going to slow down a lot. So what you think is easy is actually a pretty decent pace in the end. So when people first start off swimming, they're swimming a lot faster than what they think they are, basically is what I'm saying. So you swim it and you time yourself 100 yards, or if you're in a meter pool, 100 meters. And then you add anywhere between 5 and 10 seconds. The more novice you are, the more time you'd add, up to 10 seconds. So let's say that I swam 100 yards in 2 minutes. I would add 10 seconds to that. So now I'm at 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So what you're going to do is you're going to swim 100 yards at a 2:10 pace non-stop for the entire hour. So how do you do that? Now we've calculated your pace. How do you do that? Well, the easiest way that I've ever found is to get a watch. I wear a Suunto T6C, but you can even get a Timex or whatever, and you look for a timer function. And a timer function is where you program in minutes and seconds, and it just repeats over and over and over again that exact same timer. And some watches will tell you what lap you're on. Some watches, they all beep. You want them to beep, and the louder they beep, the better. I know the Timex ones beep really loud because you're going to be listening for that beep underwater. So this is what's going to tell you to stay on pace. When you swim your 100s continuously, you can either get to the wall a little bit ahead of time and then you get up and look at your watch and look at the last few seconds you got before the timer kicks off again, or you can do a turn underwater and then you'll hear the beep underwater. Okay, now you're going to swim continuously for an hour. A lot of people all of a sudden say, oh, I do all this drill work. I focus on form, you know, the extensions and this and that and the other, all this stuff. In my experience, a lot of what people do with that in the water, a lot of novices do with that in the water, is I'm not going to say it's a waste of time, but it uses way more time than the amount of time they need to be spending on it, because they spend a lot of time at the side of the pool or at the edge of the pool thinking about this and that and resting and swimming gently. And you need to be in the pool swimming. You need to be getting fitness. If you're going to tackle a half Ironman or an Ironman, you need to be swimming hard. Okay? So work on form while you're doing your nonstop swimming. So as it comes to your mind, oh yeah, I need to work on not crossing my hand over. You know, I'm going to do this more, or I'm going to work on my glide a little bit more. Today I'm going to work on my kick. Do it while you are swimming. That way you're killing two birds with one stone, and it works really, really well. So what you'll find out, that's the fourth thing, is work on form while you're swimming. And what you'll find out is after doing this, what did we say, 210 was our limit. So we do 3 practices in a row at a 210 pace. After a while, 210 gets to be pretty easy. And then the next thing you know, it gets so easy that you're like, you know what, I'm going to drop my pace. I'm going to change the timer on my watch to 2:08, right? So you swim 100 yards, and when you get closer to the wall, you hear the beep, or you're at the wall after your 100 yards, you hear the beep, and then just go again, and then you do it nonstop. This is how you get faster. It's one thing to be able to swim nonstop for a long time, but it's another way to be able to get faster, and this is the way to get faster. I start off at the beginning of the season at, if I haven't swam in a long time, at a 140, and then I work down to a 135, and then I work down to a 132, and then a 130, and then a 127, and 125, and before I did my Ironman, I worked all the way from a 140 down to a 122 pace in the pool, which is crazy fast. And it was just a nice gradual progression, and what I did is about once a week or every couple of weeks I would take a notch off of a second off my interval and be faster. So so that's the 5th step, is every few practices, when you feel comfortable at your current pace and if it's starting to get easy, take a second off. And all you got to do is just program it into your watch, and you just take a second off, or 5 seconds, or whatever. It depends on how easy it is. And then you're getting faster, and you get out of your comfort zone and force yourself to get faster. Okay. Then the last thing is you get comfortable at that fastest pace that you can sustain a couple weeks out from race day. And so in my case, it was a 122 per 100. And you know, that's a really fast pace that you could sustain, that I could sustain as a one-off thing. It's not something that I want to do and then go on a 112-mile bike ride and run a marathon after. So what I did on race day was I knew I was capable of a 122 pace, and I've been swimming it for a while. I knew what it feels like. So then on race day, I kind of slowed it down just a little bit, so I'd have a little bit more energy left afterwards. Okay, so quick review. 3 practices a week, non-stop swimming the distance. If you don't know what it feels like to swim the distance, you're going to be in a world of hurt on race day. You figure out your pace using a quick little tool of swimming 100 yards and adding 10 seconds the very first time you do this, and then program it into your watch, and then try to keep that pace, no rest in between. If you happen to get back to the wall before your timer flips, then that's okay, but you just try to do the whole thing non-stop and try to swim either an hour or 4,000 yards non-stop on that pace, so you get used to what it feels like to swim an Ironman swim And Ironman swim is really actually not all that long. I mean, you could do this several times a week. I mean, I did. It's not that big of a deal. And then work on your form while you're swimming. Don't spend a lot of time working on form separate from swimming. You need the workouts. You need to be getting your workouts in. All triathletes seem to shortchange themselves on swimming, and it's very important to get it in. And then every few practices, increase your pace, and then get familiar with that pace so that on race day, you know what it feels like to go just a little bit easier than that pace so you have energy in the pool. Okay, so that's it. Big news, I've signed up for the Rocky Raccoon 100 with Texas Devin on Twitter, and it's in February. I run 100 miles nonstop in less than 24 hours. And you can Google Rocky Raccoon 100 and join us. Man, it'll be kick butt. All right, check you later.